Showing a lot of class. He really taking his time, which is unusual for a young player. And he decides to fold. Don Zuen, the one-time furniture store owner from Niagara Falls, New York, has an ace-jack to Chan's pair of nines. Zuen. And he's going to move all in.
What do you have, guys?
There is now $400,000 in the pot, and we are waiting for the flop.
I had tens.
You can hear Phil Hellmuth's voice in the background saying, I had a pair of tens, I had a pair of tens.
2 black tens I had.
Won't do him any good now. It's Zuen against Chan. And Phil Hellmuth is delighted to be out of this one. Now, ready for the flop. Jack 4-6. Zuen has a pair of jacks. Chan still with a pair of nines. Ready for 4th Street. A queen, which doesn't help either player. And now waiting for 5th Street. The last card is an ace, and Zuen wins it with aces and jacks. He gets the $400,000 pot. Johnny looks a bit dejected, and Phil says, hey, I threw away a pair of tens. How lucky can you get? For many of the old-style gamblers, poker is just a way of life. Like Benny Binion and Johnny Moss, most had little or no education. There was no time for school. Gambling became a full-time occupation from the time they reached their teens. It is interesting to contrast these old-timers with their young counterparts, the greatest majority of whom came from middle to upper middle-class homes and who are college-educated. One of those, David Chip Reese, is typical of this new breed of high-stakes player.
I came to Las Vegas for a weekend. I was in between graduating from Dartmouth and waiting to go to law school, and I came here to visit a friend for a weekend, and I had about $400 in my pocket, and by the end of the summer I had over $100,000 and decided not to leave, and I've been here ever since. Poker's becoming very popular, and these young guys coming up, I mean, they're sharp. They're computer whizzes, and they're not afraid to put their money in.
Definitely not afraid to put their money in. Still 4 players remaining. And we're set for another hand. Phil Hellmuth opens for $35,000.
Phil opens for $35,000.
And he's called by Don Zuen. Johnny Chan folds.
Steve's raising.
And Steve Lott, been kind of quiet in the last couple of hands. He's going to raise $83,000 more, and he's all in.
$83,000 more.
Steve has played poker professionally since his college days at the University of Texas.
Phil calls.
Phil calls.
Don Zuen's moving all in.
And now Don Zuen is moving all in. Raising the pot another $163,000, and the fans are buzzing. We now have an interesting situation with 2 players all in at the same time. The raise is $163,000 to Hellmuth.
Raises $163,000 more.
Waiting on Hellmuth, and he calls without hesitation. Don looks a bit nervous. Let's peek at the hole cards. Zuen with a pair of tens, Lott with deuces, Hellmuth with ace-10 suited.
Phil's got ace-10 of clubs.
And here comes the flop.
Steve's got
ace-7-7. A big draw for Phil Hellmuth. He has aces over sevens. Going into 4th Street, he is in command.
Flop comes ace-7-7.
And Steve Lott very worried at the moment.
Don Zuen needs a 10.
Steve Lott needs a deuce to stay alive. 4th Street. A queen, which doesn't help anyone. And Phil likes his chances right now. Don Zuen doesn't look too happy with his hand, particularly with one of his tens already out in Hellmuth's hand.
Okay. Final
and now the final card, an 8. And Phil Hellmuth wins the hand and knocks out 2 players in the process. He now has over $1 million in chips. Don Zuen in 3rd place, Steve Lott in 4th place. This puts Phil firmly in the lead. So Hellmuth wins a big one, and while he savored his victory, we caught up with Steve Lott and got his reaction. Congratulations on a great finish, 4th. Tell me what was going through your mind as the last hand was played.
I was trying to catch a deuce. Yeah, I was just in a situation where I had to gamble. I had so few chips. The antes are so high. I caught something that looked like it might be the best hand and stuck my money in. It wasn't.
Well, you made a great comeback. You were down so far. You came all the way back. Maybe it just wasn't your year.
You could have had a happy ending. It's one of those things. That's why they call it gambling.
Yeah. Don Zuen, thank you for stopping by. The last hand as you saw it.
I couldn't ask to be in better shape. It's there was a total of 6 outs against me.
Odds in your favor going into the flop, but then the kid catches a good card.
Yeah, like I say, I couldn't ask for a better situation to come up. It was just perfect, and my luck ran out.
We're down to the final shootout between the last 2 players, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the 20th Annual World Series of Poker.